Okay, here is little Charlie on his 8-month and 1-day birthday. He is sitting on an Erie Canal barge. We're in Lockport, New York, and on one of the famous Erie Canal cruises. And as you can see, he's trying to eat his little shoulder strap there. And let me zoom in over here on Daddy. Say hi for the camera, Dad.
Hey, how you doing? We're here on the Erie Canal.
Okay.
Alright guys, welcome aboard Lockview 5 for your trip on the Erie Barge Canal. There's a couple things we have to go over before we get the boat away from the dock. The Coast Guard requires us to point out the position of the life jackets. For everybody up top, they're in the big white box across the back of the boat. For everyone down bottom here, they're underneath the bench seats up front. We've never used those before, we're not going to be using them today. But just in case you're away from the dock, we do have a snack bar down here on the lower deck that'll be open. We have beer, wine, soda, chips, pretzels, spring water, just about everything down here. And it'll be a moment and we'll get away from the dock.
Red Fox. Live with your sister? Red Fox.
Take it?
Sounds good for that picture.
Are you videoing all the family?
Sounds good for that.
Ooh, Jesse and his girlfriend.
Look at Jesse.
So you get everybody on here?
Or you put a stroller right down below. So it's not going anywhere.
Here we got, there's Mary, and Jesse, Allie, Tommy, there's little Shayna. Shayna's with Jacob. Pulling on hair, making Mom very unhappy. There's Jacob, there's a good view of Jacob. There's Trisha, who's been doing all the organizing for us and keeping us having all kinds of fun activities. And did I catch everyone? I guess that's everyone. Did I miss anyone?
Did you get Charlie? Did you get Charlie? Raining on you?
Yeah, I got Charlie.
Raining on
Looks just like this one, named after the towns along the canal. At the very end of the yard on the right-hand side, you'll see a little green door down in the water. The area behind the little green door is known as a dry dock area. They can fill it with water, move boats inside, drain all the water out, and the boats rest up on tippers in order to be repaired. Down in the dry dock today, there's a couple of barges and a small tugboat. Small tugboats like that are called tenders. As we come around the first bend here, take a look off to the left or the right-hand side. You'll be able to see ruins from mills that were built all along the canal in the early 1800s in order to utilize the source of water power. There were flour mills, grain mills, sawmills, and even distilleries along the banks of the Erie. Take a look at the first bridge we'll be passing under. This is Lockport's upside-down railroad bridge. People around town say this railroad bridge looks as though it were built upside down because of all the steel superstructures underneath the tracks. Most of the railroad bridges built at that time had the steel superstructure up top. That was completed in 1919, but they still use it for train traffic 3 or 4 times a week.
Well, here we're approaching the lock. It's pretty big. We were on the bridge up top a little while ago, and this bridge right up here in our car, and it's essentially that's the difference in the water level, so you can see there. So it's pretty impressive. That was behind us, and now it's closing this, and so I guess the gimmick will be water will fill up, and then we'll be able to...
Now that we're secured in Lock 34, they're closing the big green gates behind us, but take a close look at them, they're not closed all the way. There's a few-inch gap left between the 2 doors. That's because the electric motors aren't strong enough to squeeze the doors all the way shut. As soon as they begin allowing the water to flow into this lock chamber, the change in water pressure is going to slam those doors the rest of the way shut. So when you hear the gate slam shut, Take a look in front of the boat and all along on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see the water making its way in here from underneath us. All the water that fills this lock chamber is going to come from the lock chamber straight ahead of us. Take a look at those big green gates up there. There's 40 feet of water on the opposite side of those doors right now. We're going to transfer 3.5 million gallons of water from up there to down here, and it's going to raise us up 25 feet all the way to the water line around the top of the lock site.
Okay, now look at the front.
Now that the whole process has begun, it should take us 8 to 10 minutes to go up in the lock.
Okay, we're now the lock open and we're moving through it. When the process started, the water behind the lock was all the way up to that dark, wet level, and we were about that far again below it in the other lock. And now the two levels have equalized and we're moving in. So there was about, gosh, almost 30 feet of water that moved from one lock down to the other, and then we go up to this lock and performing the same maneuver, although I think this is the last lock and that's the regular river level past here.
And it only took about 8 to 10 minutes for that entire process to happen. Pretty impressive and a very beautiful area. But you can see the dark line and the white line against the wall where the water was, so it's pretty impressive that that raised us up that high. Okay, and we're right here at Lock 34. And we got Daddy and Charlie on the camera. There's little Charlie.
He's not in a great mood right now.
Yeah, he's being a good boy. He's smiling and all happy. Let's go back here and look where we came from. It's open. The lock door is open. Trisha, say something for the camera.
Hi there. We're in our second lock. We're going to go up some more. Go out on the other side.
Okay. Jesse?
Now we're going to go up to here.
Up where? Are we going to be?
The door's closing behind us.
Okay, and here's the lock doors closing behind us. We just went through one lock and we're getting another one. There's Shayna coming up. Shayna, can you say something for the camera?
Hi.
Hi. They're almost closed completely. Slowly but surely here. Actually not too slow. It's a pretty fast process. There's Shayna back there in the far left corner of the video here, and the locks are closed as far as they can go. And then here is Allie. Say something for the camera. She's actually kind of cold. It's a little chilly here today. It's kind of like an October, November day in Texas. Much cooler and no humidity, and we don't expect it to be like this. Allie and Tommy, why don't you guys say something for the camera here?
I love New York.
I want to go to New York. I love it here.
Yeah, the weather's great. How does it compare to Texas?
Oh, a lot better.
Yeah, no humidity,
No
much
humidity.
cooler, and as you
It's
can
cold and it's during the daytime.
yeah, it's a summer day, August 13th, so
And I'm wrapped up in a blanket. You never see this in Texas.
no, you do not. All right, Jess, let me get another shot of you here.
Only in New York would I be freezing in the middle of
No.
summer.
All
Now that we're
right.
in Lock 35 here, it's pretty much the same story. They closed the big green gates behind us, but they're going to begin filling this lock chamber with water from the upper canal straight ahead of us. The water's never pumped uphill, it's never reused. It always moves from a higher level to a lower level. That means everything here at the lock site is gravity feed. There are no pumps involved. There'll be another 3.5 million gallons of water coming in. We'll be raised another 25 feet for a total of 50 feet. Should take us 7 or 8 minutes to go up in this lock.
And here's Daddy and Charlie again. So, Daddy, what's your impression of the Erie Canal?
Pretty neat.
Is this one of your favorite subjects?
Oh yeah, this is neat.
Excuse me.
Now, what is it that you like about it?
Well, there's a lot of history and there's a lot of neat engineering
Okay.
that goes into it.
And where does this canal run from and to?
It runs from the Niagara River all the way over to somewhere in the eastern part of,
Albany, right? The Hudson River?
I was going to say the Hudson River, yeah.
I think so, and it's what, 325 miles long?
It was 300 and something, supposedly the longest canal in the world.
And it was hand dug
Originally, yes.
originally, so it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And there's Shane and Jesse actually playing on the side of the Erie Canal.
We're marking our spots.
All right.
Here, mark here.
They're marking their spots with chewing gum, just something little kids would do at that age. Say, bye-bye, Charlie. Bye-bye, Charlie. He doesn't want to look. Okay, okay. Jesse, what is that on your finger? Show it to the camera here. Ew, it looks like a green yucky thing.
And it's right there.
Okay, that's algae on the side of the Erie Canal here, and Jesse's found that after he was playing with his bubble gum, and he and Shayna were marking their spot. Now, 20 years, we're going to come back, Jesse, and we want you to show us where that bubble gum is, and you too, Shayna.
You can see how high up we are now with the line.
Yeah, here's the water line. You can see the dark and the light, and the dark is where the water stops, and the light's where the water would not hit. So we're very close here because here's Allie and Tommy. So you can see it's not very far from their heads, and we're going to be up quite a bit higher. Okay, and we'll show you the bridge up here where people are actually walking and where we were just about 30 minutes ago. And there's Daddy and Charlie on the other side of the barge again.
Now that we're up this high in the lock, you can see the green slime all over the walls on either side of us. At the beginning and end of each season, we do school trips with 4th graders. Being in 4th grade, they're always tempted to stick their fingers in that green slime just to see what it's like. We have a hard time keeping our arms inside the boat. But a few years ago, we had a teacher tell them, if you touch it, you taste it.
I didn't taste it.
Jesse, did you hear that? You have to taste it. Come on.
I do.
Yes, you do. You're going to get sick from it, too. I think he said that just to get you guys to stop. Okay, and here we are again still at the Erie Canal here, and as you can see, we've risen all the way to the top. We're right below street level here, and see the little passenger boat over there. There's the edge where we were looking at.
Show the sign.
And there's the sign. Let me see if I can get
Zoom
it.
in.
How do I do that? Okay. Okay, here's the Erie Canal. Whoops. Try and get it in good. I'm not as good at George. See the elevation. It's hard to kind of capture here. And there's Miss Tricia again. Leisurely relaxing there. So you want to say something while we're showing Tricia's face here? And then Allie and Tommy are over here cruising along. Looks like we're going real fast. You can kind of see how fast we're going now that they've started up again. And there's Shayna looking.
Here we go, guys. This is the big bridge.
All right, and then here's the big Erie Canal locks 34 and 35. That's where we just were. There they go. We're over a bridge. We're going under a bridge right now, a big bridge. A very big bridge. Very dark in here.
How far away were the next locks?
I think the next lock, the next lock. The next lock's about 26 miles and then 64 after that, so quite a ways. And there's little Charlie looking out. He's kind of curious about all the noises, sights and sounds, things he's never seen before.
Now that we're off underneath the bridge, guys, look off to the left or the right-hand side to see these solid limestone walls. This section of the canal is known as the Rock Cut. It extends for 3.5 miles west of Lockport. It took them 5 years to blast the original canal through this 3.5-mile section. They had to drill down through the stone with a star bit and a sledgehammer, then they would fill in the holes with black powder left over from the War of 1812. They'd blow up the stone. Now this was a pretty inexact science. People were being injured all the time. Most often injured were powder monkeys. Powder monkeys were young men and small boys that could squeeze in between the cracks.
There's Mary, Jacob, and Jesse. Oops, it's getting a little too dark. We're about to come out in the light here. At the back of Jesse's head, he's acting like a wild banshee. Mary. And little Jacob. Jacob, can you say hi? Hi for the wave to the camera. Hi. Oh, he's slapping. No, he didn't want to wave. Okay. It's pretty breezy. You can see Mary there.
Going down a stretch of the river that's got limestone walls. All this was carved out by, I guess, by hand originally, and it's been excavated more deeply since, but a very pretty stretch of the river. Looks like we're probably ready to turn around and head back and go the reverse direction through the locks.
15 miles on the Erie Canal. That's the song in the kids' book at Gift Shop. Fields with lumber, coal and hay, and every inch of the way went off from Albany to
Leaving the locks here. They've just lowered the water to let us back in, and that's Allie and Tommy here.
We're still here.
Yeah, they're still here. They haven't gone anywhere. And Jesse and Shane are over here talking, trying to figure out what kind of mischief they want to get into. I don't think they're going to get.
We made a picnic table.
This is right here.
Hi there, still here.
13 seconds later, Trisha's still here.